My name is Elijah Reed, and I died in my sleep 3 nights ago. What God showed me about September 5th, it shattered every illusion I held about our world, about the fragile veil between here and the eternal. It wasn't just a dream, you see. No, it was a crossing, a sacred unraveling where the divine whispered truths that burn like fire in my veins. I vowed, right there in the light, that if He brought me back, I would share this, not out of pride, but obedience, like a vow etched in my soul. Because what I'm about to reveal isn't just my story. It's a warning, a call echoing through time for all of us. September 5th is coming, and what God unveiled, it will shake you to your core, force you to question everything. Stay with me. You need to hear this before it's too late. Faith. It was there, flickering like a candle in the wind, you know? Not the kind that thunders from pulpits, but a quiet whisper in the back of my mind during those long evenings alone. I'd wake up each morning in my modest home on the edge of town, brew coffee that tasted more like habit than comfort, and head off to the school where I taught. History to wide-eyed kids who dreamed of futures I could barely imagine for myself. My days were filled with lesson plans, grading papers under the hum of fluorescent lights, and the occasional laughter from the hallway that reminded me life was still pulsing around me. Family? Well, there was my sister, living a few states away. We'd talk on the phone about nothing and everything, her voice a tether to the world I sometimes felt slipping from my grasp. And my students, they were like family too, in a way, carrying their own burdens, their questions about life mirroring the ones I buried deep inside. But beneath it all, I carried this weight, this invisible load on my shoulders, the worries of bills stacking up, the loneliness that crept in like fog at dusk, the sense that the world was spinning faster than I could keep up. I was just like anyone else, really, pushing through the ordinary, chasing distractions to quiet the soul's unrest. Yet even then, I was a seeker, always had been. I'd read books late into the night, ancient texts, philosophies, scriptures that promised answers, but left me with more questions. Why are we here? Is there more than this endless cycle of days? I couldn't see beyond my own limitations, you see, trapped in the illusion that life was just this: work, eat, sleep, repeat. But oh, how blind I was. I didn't know it then, but I was walking a path that would soon shatter into a world I couldn't have imagined, a truth I was utterly unprepared to face. Little things started pulling at me, building this quiet tension I couldn't name. A dream here and there, vivid and unsettling, where shadows whispered names I didn't recognize, or that strange pull during my walks in the woods behind the house, where the trees seemed to lean in, as if sharing secrets with the wind. I'd pause, heart racing for no reason, feeling like something vast was watching, waiting. And then there were the news reports flickering on my screen, storms brewing far away, unrest in distant lands that stirred something deep, like echoes of a coming storm. I brushed it off, told myself it was nothing, just the mind playing tricks. But looking back now, from this side of the veil, those were the threads, the divine invitations drawing me toward the extraordinary, toward the night when everything would change. He called my name in the dark, softly at first, a refrain that haunts me still. He called my name in the dark, and I, unknowing, was already answering. That night, it was like any other, or so I thought. I crawled into bed, the weight of the day still clinging to me, my mind tangled with questions that had no answers. I was drifting, into that hazy space between waking and sleep, when suddenly, everything stopped. One minute, I was sinking into the softness of my pillow. The next, the world vanished in an instant, and I was floating, weightless, untethered. My heart, it didn't beat. My lungs, they didn't draw breath. I was nowhere and yet everywhere, suspended in a void that felt both endless and intimate. Panic clawed at me first, sharp and cold. What was this? Was I dreaming? No, this was too real, too vivid. My body, my room, my world, they were gone, erased like a chalk drawing in the rain. What happens when we leave this world behind? I whispered to myself, or maybe I didn't, because there was no sound, no voice, just the question burning in my soul. What awaits us? I was terrified, yet there was this strange pull, like a tide drawing me deeper into the unknown. The air, if you could call it air, felt alive, pulsing with something ancient, something sacred. It wasn't dark, but it wasn't light either, not yet. It was like standing on the edge of a cliff, the wind howling, knowing you're about to fall, but not knowing where. I wanted to scream, to run back to the safety of my life, my classroom, my coffee-stained mornings, but there was no going back. Something was happening, something bigger than me, bigger than anything I'd ever known. My thoughts raced. Had I missed the signs, the dreams, the whispers in the woods, the unrest on the news? Was this what they were pointing to? And then, it was like a crack in the fabric of reality. A warmth began to seep in, soft at first, like the first rays of dawn. But it grew, wrapping around me, pulling me through. I wasn't ready, not for what came next, not for the truth that would undo everything I thought I knew. My soul trembled, caught between fear and awe, as I crossed a threshold I couldn't see but could feel, like stepping through a veil into the heart of forever. He called my name in the dark, louder now, a voice that was both thunder and whisper, shaking my very core. He called my name in the dark, and I knew in that moment I was being summoned to something eternal. And then, it was like stepping through a curtain of stars. The void, that endless nothing, gave way to something so vast, so alive, it stole my breath, though I had no breath to give. I was bathed in warmth and light, a light that wasn't like anything on earth, you know. It wasn't harsh like the sun, or cold like a bulb. It was soft, golden, alive, wrapping me like a mother's arms, yet piercing through me, seeing every hidden corner of my soul. The air, if I can call it that, felt thick, heavy with love, yet I was weightless, floating in a sea of peace that whispered my name. There were sounds. Oh, the sounds. Not like music you'd hear in a church or on the radio, but a harmony, like the universe itself was singing. A chorus of voices, not human, not quite angelic, but something deeper, like the hum of creation itself, weaving through me, around me. It was the music of the spheres, a melody that carried the weight of eternity. And yet it felt intimate, as if it was meant just for me. I heard whispers too, soft and urgent, like secrets carried on a breeze, divine voices speaking truths I couldn't yet grasp but felt in my bones. I looked around, or maybe I didn't, because there was no around, no up or down, no beginning or end. I was no longer bound by time or space. I was in the eternal. The words settled into me like a vow, heavy with reverence, and I felt my heart, or whatever was left of it, tremble with awe. This place, this presence, it wasn't just beautiful. It was truth itself, unveiled, unfiltered. The worries of my old life, the weight of bills, the ache of loneliness, they dissolved like mist in the morning. Here, I understood for the first time the true nature of reality beyond the physical world. a reality that wasn't built on fleeting moments, but on something unending, something sacred. Yet even in that peace, there was a stirring, a quiet urgency pulling at me. I wasn't here just to rest, you see. This was a crossing, a threshold, and I was being called to witness something greater. My soul felt both held and exposed, loved and undone, as if every part of me was being remade in the light. He called my name in the dark, and now, in this radiant expanse, his voice echoed deeper, a thunder wrapped in tenderness, drawing me closer to a truth I wasn't ready to bear. He called my name in the eternal, and I knew I could never be the same. And then, he was there. Not a figure, not a form like you'd imagine, but a presence. Oh, a presence so vast, so piercing, it was truth itself. I knew him, you know, in a way that transcended words, as if my soul recognized him before my mind could catch up. His voice was the key to unlocking everything I had ever questioned, everything I'd buried beneath the weight of my ordinary days. It was tender, like a father whispering to a frightened child, yet it carried the weight of eternity, each syllable a thunder that shook the foundations of my being. "Elijah, my child," he said, "the truth you seek is not of this world, but it is not hidden forever." I felt myself unraveling, my fears, my doubts, my endless searching. They fell away like ash in the wind. His voice wasn't just sound, it was love, it was sorrow, it was fire, burning away the illusions I'd clung to. And then he spoke of September 5th, and the words landed like a stone in still water, rippling through me, changing everything. "On that day," he said, "the world will awaken, not with trumpets or fire from the sky, but with a trembling in the soul of every heart. A moment of justice, of mercy, of warning, a call to return to the fire of truth." I saw it then, in flashes that weren't visions, but knowings. Cities standing still, hearts pausing in mid-beat, eyes lifting to the heavens as if seeing for the first time. September 5th wasn't just a date. It was a threshold, a divine awakening, a moment when the veil would thin and humanity would face a choice. I wanted to weep, to fall to my knees, but there was no ground, no body, just me and him in this endless light. His voice held me, steady and unrelenting, and I felt the weight of his love, a love so deep it hurt, a sorrow for every soul that turned away from him. "You will carry this," he said, and I knew it was both a gift and a burden, a vow I'd made in the dark, now sealed in the eternal. My heart burned with the urgency of it, with the need to share what I'd been shown, not because I wanted to, but because I had to, because I'd promised. He called my name in the dark, and now, in the heart of his presence, his voice was a flame, igniting my soul with a purpose I could no longer ignore. He called my name in the eternal, and I was bound to him, forever changed by the truth of September 5th. In that eternal light, his voice grew still, and yet it filled every part of me, like a river carving through stone. He showed me September 5th, not as a mark on a calendar, you know, but as a threshold, a crack in the fabric of time where the sacred would spill into our world. It was a moment of divine awakening, a call for humanity to turn back to the fire of truth, to the heart of what's real. "This day," he said, his words heavy with both mercy and justice, "will be a mirror held before every soul, a chance to see, to choose, to return." I saw it unfold, not with my eyes, but with my spirit. Images so vivid they burned into me. Cities hushed under a weightless sky, hearts stirring as if shaken from a long sleep, voices whispering prayers they hadn't spoken in years. It was beautiful, like a dawn breaking after an endless night, But oh, what I saw shook me to my core. I saw people waking up, their eyes alight with truth, beginning to live according to God's will. Families reunited, strangers embracing, hands reaching out to heal what was broken. But I also saw upheaval, you see, a shadow cast over those who turned away. Faces hardened by pride, cities trembling under the weight of their own refusal to listen. The earth itself seemed to groan, not with anger, but with sorrow, as if pleading for us to see. September 5th wasn't just a day, it was a warning, a divine invitation wrapped in both justice and mercy. God wasn't coming to destroy, but to call us home, to strip away the illusions we've built, the distractions we've worshipped, and to lay bare the truth we've forgotten. I felt it then, the weight of this truth, pressing against my soul like a stone too heavy to carry alone. I wanted to cry out, to beg for more time, for the world to understand what was coming. But His presence steadied me, His love a fire that burned away my fear. "You will carry this," He said again, and I knew my vow was binding me, pulling me into a purpose I couldn't escape. "The awakening is not done," I whispered to myself, or maybe He whispered it through me. "The awakening is not done, neither is the work God has set before us." My journey had shifted. I wasn't just a teacher, a seeker, a man with questions anymore. I was a messenger now, entrusted with a truth so urgent it felt like my heart might burst. September 5th was coming, and I had to speak, had to share, because I'd promised Him in the dark, in the eternal, that I would. He called my name in the dark, and now His voice was a flame in my bones, urging me to carry this truth to you, to everyone, before the threshold opens. And in that boundless light, where His presence held me like a vow unbroken, He opened my eyes, not to judgment alone, but to a vision of hope that bloomed like dawn after the darkest hour. I saw it, unfolding across the earth on September 5th, not as a storm of wrath, but as a gentle quake in the soul of humanity, awakening hearts long asleep. People everywhere, strangers in crowded cities, families in quiet homes, leaders in halls of power, they turned one by one toward the divine, like flowers seeking the sun. The work God has begun, it swept through the lands like a healing wind, mending what was torn, revealing truths hidden in shadows, restoring the broken to wholeness. It was beautiful, a tapestry of grace weaving nations together in ways I could scarcely comprehend, where division dissolved and love rose like a tide. The world will change when we confront the truth, when we stand together in faith. That's what echoed through me, a promise etched in the eternal. September 5th, it serves as both a mirror of judgment, reflecting the weight of our choices, and an open door, an opportunity for every soul to step into the light, to transform before the veil thins further. I felt the urgency of it, the sorrow mingled with joy, as if God Himself wept for the lost while rejoicing for those who would return. He showed me how we must embrace that light now, live according to His will, not in fear, but in obedience, letting go of the illusions that bind us, the distractions that deafen our spirits. And you can be part of this, Your faith can change the world. It begins with you, right here, in this moment, choosing to heed the call, to live as beacons in the gathering dusk. The awakening is stirring, a global shift toward justice, toward truth, toward the faith that binds us all. He called my name in the dark, and now, in this vision of what's to come, His voice thunders through the silence, a flame igniting souls across the earth, drawing us all to the threshold where change blazes eternal. He called my name in the eternal, and the awakening begins, not just for me, but for us all. And so I stood there, trembling in my dimly lit room, the echo of his voice still burning in my chest, the weight of September 5th pressing against my ribs like a sacred stone. I was back, thrust into the heaviness of this world, its ticking clocks, its restless hum. Yet I carried that eternal light, a fire that refused to dim. But oh, the resistance I faced. It began almost at once, a shadow creeping in where the divine had just been. I tried to speak, to share what I'd seen, what I'd been entrusted with. I called my sister first, my voice shaking as I poured out the truth about the veil, the awakening, the call to return to God's fire. Her silence on the other end. It was heavy, like a wall I couldn't breach. "Elijah, you sound different," she said, her words laced with doubt, not unkind but distant, as if my truth was too vast for her to hold. At school, it was worse. I stood before my students, their young faces bright with curiosity, and I tried to weave the message into my lessons, to speak of a truth beyond history's pages, a truth that would shake the world come September 5th. But their laughter, sharp and careless, cut through me. "Mr. Reed, you've been reading too many old books," one said, and the others nodded, their eyes drifting to their phones, their worlds so small yet so loud. Even my colleagues, kind as they were, raised brows, their smiles polite but thin, dismissing my words as the ramblings of a man unmoored. I felt it then, the weight of their disbelief, like stones piling on my chest, threatening to smother the fire I carried. But deeper still, there was a battle. Oh, a spiritual warfare that clawed at my soul. The darkness whispered, you see, subtle at first, urging me to stay silent, to keep the vow locked away where it was safe. "They won't listen," it hissed in the quiet moments when the night pressed close and doubt crept in like fog. "They'll mock you, reject you, tear you apart." My heart wavered, torn between the light I'd tasted and the shadows that clung to this world. Yet his voice from the eternal, rose within me, steady and unrelenting. I must speak, even if they do not understand. The truth is a sword, and I must wield it. Each rejection, each doubtful glance, it sharpened my resolve, forged my purpose in the fire of obedience. I stood at the edge of my woods one evening, the trees whispering secrets as they had before, and I felt the pull between light and darkness, a battlefield within my own soul. But I'd made a vow, in the dark, in the eternal, and I would not turn back. He called my name in the dark, and now, in this fractured world, his voice thunders through the resistance, a flame that burns away doubt, urging me to speak, to stand, to carry the truth of September 5th until the awakening dawns. He called my name in the eternal, and I am his messenger, blazing at the threshold of a world that must hear, must know, before the hour arrives. And so, I stand here now, my heart still trembling with the weight of his voice, the fire of September 5th burning in my bones, urging me to speak to you, yes, you, before the threshold opens wide. The world is racing toward that day, a day when the veil will thin, when every soul will face a mirror of truth, a moment to choose between the light and the shadows we've clung to for too long. I've seen it, felt it, carried it back from the eternal, a warning wrapped in love, a call etched in mercy. The time for hesitation has passed. The time for action is now. Come back to the light, to the Gospels, to the truth that waits like an open door, whispering your name in the quiet of your soul. His voice, oh, it's calling everyone home. Every weary heart, every wandering spirit, every soul burdened by the weight of this world. Christ stands ready, you see, offering redemption, forgiveness, a chance to be remade in the fire of his love. I felt it there, in that radiant expanse. His sorrow for every step we take away from him. His joy for every heart that turns back. September 5th isn't just a warning, it's an invitation. A divine plea to shed the illusions, the pride, the distractions, the lies we tell ourselves, and step into the truth that sets us free. God is calling you home, right now, in this very moment. Will you answer? Will you let his love break through the walls you've built? Let his mercy heal what's been broken? I'm no prophet, no saint, just a man, like you, who died and was sent back to share this truth. And I'm asking you, begging you, to act now, to seek him in the quiet, in the pages of the Gospels, in the stillness where his voice waits. Don't wait for the sky to tremble or the earth to groan. Start today, this hour, this breath. And if this message stirs something in you, if you feel the pull of his call, join us at Second Chance Survivors. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Become part of a community embracing their second chance, standing together as the awakening draws near. We're not alone in this, you know. We're bound by the same vow, the same fire, the same truth. He called my name in the dark, and now, as I stand before you, his voice thunders through the silence of this world, a flame that burns for every soul to hear. He called my name in the eternal, and I'm calling yours now, blazing at the threshold of change, urging you to rise, to return, to answer before September 5th dawns and the world is forever changed. God is calling you home. Will you answer? And now, as I stand here, my voice a trembling thread woven into the tapestry of his truth, I feel the weight of that eternal light still pulsing within me, a fire that will not fade. I was given a second chance, you know, a chance to stand in truth, to carry this sacred warning from the heart of the divine to the heart of you. Will you take yours? Oh, feel it, the cost of leaving everything behind, the old ways, the illusions we've cradled like treasures, the distractions that blind us to the eternal. It's heavy, I know, like shedding a skin that's grown too tight. But beyond that, weight lies freedom, a path into the Gospels, into truth, into Christ himself, waiting with arms wide as the heavens. I'm haunted, you see, by his love, by the sorrow in his voice for every soul that turns away, by the urgency of September 5th, drawing near like a tide that cannot be held back. The awakening is not done. It's stirring, even now, in the quiet corners of your heart, in the spaces where his whisper lingers. The work has just begun, and it begins with you, with me, with every one of us choosing to step into the light before the threshold opens wide. I made a vow in the dark, sealed in the eternal, and I speak now because I must, because his truth burns too fiercely to be contained. He called my name in the dark, and now, as I stand at the edge of this world's shadows, his voice is a thunder that shakes my soul, a flame that blazes through time itself. He called my name in the eternal, and I am forever his, standing at the threshold of change, pleading with you to rise, to reflect, to act before the hour arrives. The awakening is not done. The work has just begun. Will you take your second chance?